I'm Dan, and this is 10,000 Hours of Indie, a podcast exploring new music and delving deeper into what goes on in the background of the independent music industry. I'm a musician and passionate music lover, and I wanted to delve deeper into new music in the independent scene around the world. I also saw this as a chance to help artists connect and share their stories, so if there's someone you hear and you want to find out more about, every podcast has links in the show description. Get involved, help this community grow, follow on the 10,000 Hours of Indie socials, you can find all the links in the show description. And also feel free to email me about anything music related, 10,000indie@gmail.com. I'm open to any ideas and love listening to your promos. Keoma are a Helsinki-based Finnish hybrid metal six-piece formed in 2018, whom I've known for many, many years. Blending heavy riffs, soaring vocals, catchy melodies and synths, they create dark yet hopeful anthems. There have been a number of personnel changes since the start, not least vocalist Jasse leaving and rejoining the band. They have released 4 EPs and 3 albums to date, with the latest, the Mind Coaster EP, released last month. Vocalist Jasse and guitarist Eero, welcome to the podcast at last.
Thank you, at last.
Well, we did try earlier in the year, but you were on holiday.
Yeah.
For those who don't know, I have a bit of history with the band, as you worked with my label 10 years ago when you released your first full album. A lot has happened since then, guys.
Yes, we've done a little bit, some music and some gigs after that, and I remember that we released our debut album with you on 2016, I believe it was.
Yeah,
and,
it's 10 years this year.
After that, there's been some lineup changes. I was out of the band for a while, and then I came back. And just this year, we finished our first record together after that. Now we released our newest EP, Mind Coaster, and we're already working on something new.
So for people who don't know the band, who are you and what genre would you use to describe or to sum up Keoma?
My name is Jasse Atala. I'm the vocalist of the band. I usually do something else also, so I will describe me as a musician, not a vocalist. But I've been in the band for more than 12 years, I believe. And the band Keoma is what they are playing in, and we describe our genre as a hybrid metal, and it's because of a blend of different type of metal things. So
I'm Eero Saikku, and I play the guitar and sing backing vocals in the band. And I think it was some review or something that where the writer came up with this term hybrid metal. Maybe from the first EPs or something like that, and that has stuck after that. I think it describes it quite well we never leave out a part, even if it doesn't first sounds like that it doesn't fit the song or that it doesn't fit our style, because I like to think that everything is our style.
Because I first got into the band with the Opvox Orbit EP, I always called you a progressive metal band, because that EP is so progressive. That's where I sort of fit into the story in terms of where I started listening. I don't really know what the term hybrid means. As you say, it's a little bit of everything, but whatever it is, it's still good after all these years. So that's the main thing.
Yeah, and it's still metal is the main thing in all of our songs.
So from what I can remember, Eero, you found Jasse in a karaoke bar. Can you remember what he was singing that impressed you enough to get him in the band?
I think it was some Muse song.
yes, I remember it was Starlight.
For me, it was a quite fuzzy night.
And hey, it's worked, so...
Yeah. Jasse was really young back then, or at least looked like really young back then. I went to talk to him after his song outside and say, we have this band, we're playing this progressive metal, and our main idea that we just do good stuff, nothing bad. So Jasse was a bit skeptic first, I understand, but I sent him some really crappy demos recorded from our practice room, and well, he liked it, and here we are now.
So you've been doing this for 17 years, albeit with a few lineup changes. How do you keep the music fresh? How do you come up with new ideas when you've done so much already?
We are trying to invent ourselves again and again. And sometimes it's Eero's riff, which comes in mind, and we are trying to make a song out of it. Sometimes it's something that I have played it with piano and came up with an idea. Sometimes it's Jaakko's idea. We all got ideas, and we are making music from these ideas. It's a riff, or it's a melody part, or it's a chorus. And I think we always managed to do a Keoma song, even if the idea wasn't that Keoma type of stuff. I think it's like if I play a piano song and send a message to the guys, this is an idea I have got, what can we do with it? Then I think the process starts. We are trying to Keomatize the song or the idea, and that's what happens.
I think that's like one of the things that keeps us fresh all the time, that everybody is bringing ideas to the table. And it's always like, even if you bring an idea, it might not end up being like that in the end, in the song, but still it always goes through like the machine, and then there's something else coming out. The ideas are coming from so different places because we all have quite different music tastes. There's some similarities, but there's lots of differences in our music tastes. And now we are looking at this one new song that Sampo, our keyboard player, did, and it's quite electronic already. And well, let's see what we can get out of that.
Jussi, you did The Voice of Finland in 2019,
Yes.
Which you did quite well in. You got to the final, I believe.
Yes, to the second place.
What did you learn from that you're able to use for Keoma?
How to perform, where to look, who to contact when you're on the stage. And I also got introduced how big things are rolling, because it's a big production and entertainment business. I started understanding how the business works and how things are rolling in the big screens and stuff like that. So, but mainly it gave me a lot of more confidence, and also new ways to perform and new ways to contact the audience and give them good feeling and give them good mood, and understand that I am enjoying myself. I can see that they are enjoying themselves.
Let's move on to the release. You've just released the new EP. In the same year, you've released an album. Were these tracks left over from the album recordings, or was this a completely new thing?
I think a completely new thing. They were demos before, and we just started working on those, and they are not leftovers. I can say that. They have different kind of mood. If we think about it, probably they wouldn't fit to the album, and they are just other release. So I think the album that we did, A New Beginning with a question mark, is something that compiled lots of old stuff that we had been working on for like 10 years ago or something like that. And then a couple of new songs which we started working on, and we just compiled it into an album. And we felt that that's the conclusion of everything. But right after that, we started working on new songs, and that's the Mind Coaster EP. Some different kind of stuff, but people have been saying that it's good music, and that's good to hear.
I think actually we considered Disease to be part of the album. We weren't sure it was done yet. I think we still did some changes to it, and it was sort of really close to the end of the recording process for the album, that we had Disease already like almost done. But then we decided that let's leave it out. I think usually if we spend the time to finish a song, at least like 80%, it's going to be in an album or EP. So for a long time, we haven't had that kind of songs that we finish that and don't record it. That was actually where the On My Own, Where's My Soul, and Is This How You Pay from the album are that kind of songs that were left orphan in the beginning. They were written in between of the EPs, and somehow they didn't end up in any of the first EPs. now we've decided that, hey, these are so good songs that we need to now really finish these and put them out on an album.
You described the EP as about diving into the depths of mind with a dash of love, death, and mental health. Can you expand on sort of where these ideas and lyrics and feelings came from?
Most of the lyrics I wrote nowadays are very, very personal to me. And of course, love is one thing that keeps us going in life. And we all do have love. And Bumper Cars is the first song of the EP. And it's about love at the last sun rays of the summer and in roller coaster park in Linnanmäki, for example. And I just came up with an idea that we are always in the stage of love with my wife. I just visioned that we were in Linnanmäki and driving these bumper cars and feeling good. And that's because of love. And that's how the song came out also. Well, the second song is Disease. And disease is about mental health things because I have personality disorder. And these are the things that I'm sometimes fighting in my life, that it's not so easy for me to understand everything. And that's the hard part in life. These are the issues that sometimes cause me to be a little bit down or a little bit out of focus. I wanted to write a song about fighting with this disease. I don't know, it's disorder probably, but fighting with it and just finding positive things to fight with the negative things. And the last song is about death and how death is always lingering around us. And I think that it's sometimes that someone has died, or it's sometimes that someone is dying, or we live and then we die. And I remember during my weakest points of my life, I was in that stage that I wasn't sure that my life would still go on. And that's because of the disorders or diseases I have. I wanted to write lyrics about it, that even though today I feel like dying, I still want to fight and still want to live. The death, it haunts me in everywhere. Yeah.
I would say Disease of the three tracks is the most obviously Keoma sounding song. I think the other two sort of stretch what you're doing, but the second one would definitely be the one out of the three I would say this is a good sort of base of what Keoma do. Do you agree with that?
Yeah, that's the reason we considered it for the album also, because it would have fit there quite well.
You say on your Bandcamp that Mind Coaster is the name because you couldn't think of anything better to sum up the themes of the EP. Would that suggest you weren't entirely happy with the title?
No, of course we were happy, and we are happy with the title, because we started thinking that when we have three different songs and different kind of moods, and those are three very different songs from Bumper Cars is very Deftones, Stone Temple Pilots feeling, and then Disease is like Keoma hit song. And then It Haunts Me is like a very progressive and very aggressive song. And Mind Coaster was the first thing that everybody was like, yes, this is a good title for the EP. Also, Jaakko, our guitarist, came up with an idea of the cover of the EP, so that it all came up very clear that it's a really good option for our EP name.
Well, the Bumper Cars started the amusement part feeling, and also in It Haunts Me, one of the parts is quite carousel from hell kind of thing. And so it was also, we tried to bring it to the songs also, that like amusement park theme. Really,
You've always had this sort of dystopian gas mask, steampunk thing going on. Where did that all begin?
I think it came from the Keoma,
from
like
the film,
Western kind of things, and the space and all of that. Then we started to combine. Okay, these things look cool, and let's put them together. We had the Western stuff was really a big part of our look at that time. We had like promo pictures with Stetsons and things like that. So,
how do you think the sound of Keoma has changed in the last 18 years? Well, when this comes out, it'll be 18 years.
In the beginning, we were more like into, I think, guitar riffs and stuff like that. But after Sampo joined the band, it started to evolve into what we are now. And I think in every song there is a dash of the old and original Keoma, but we have spiced it up with Sampo's really nice keyboard playing. I think that's how it works nowadays.
We try not to say no to anything, so just if it works, it works.
That's a good way to be. Stretch your minds a little bit. Which song that you've done over the last 17 years would you choose if you could play one single song to somebody to say, this is my band?
Tough question. I could choose every song that we have done, but probably the song that really started this all would be Fade from our first EP. But because the mood and the music has changed a little bit during the years, it's very hard to choose anything from there and then. But I think Fade would be the song that I would show someone that this is our band and this is what we play. Fade.
Yeah, too many options. And also I would sort of try to think who I'm playing this to, because we have so much stuff in there. There's something for everyone, sort of.
Choose your audience rather than
yeah. Like if I know the guy likes progressive metal, maybe I play something from Otwot or Bond from the Synthesis album, or then if I know that he likes more like straightforward stuff, then maybe one of the new songs from the EP, like maybe Bumper Cars, for example.
Moving on to social media. So you've got a good mix of live photos, promos for releases, and a few other random bits on Instagram. You say you take charge of that, Just said. Is it a democratic process, or do you just say, I'm doing this?
50-50. I say I'm doing this, but of course I'm also looking what, for example, the other guys are. What do they think what we are going to do? One thing that I did last year was that I scheduled everything for the album release. I scheduled also when do we release a single, when do we release news, when do we release anything into social media. So that's what I'm doing, and I started doing that just last year. I have started learning how to do these things, but I always ask opinions, and I always take those opinions into what I do. And I also ask people to read what I'm writing before I release it, so that it's all good and we are also on the same page. It's quite different doing that, because I remember the times that social media was a new thing and you just didn't have to do anything. People are coming to the gigs. But nowadays, when you will be playing a show, it's a big thing. The social media is sometimes it's hard to think that you just have to keep on working with it, and you have to keep the hype in the social media so that people will buy the albums, people will come to the gigs, people will celebrate with us.
So you have a video on YouTube for Bumper Cars, filmed at Linnanmäki, I assume, or most of it.
Yeah.
You say that the idea actually stemmed from what you were thinking about when you wrote the song. So how did you make the video represent your thoughts?
Well, I think it was a project with myself and our photographer slash videographer, Aki Ekholm. And I just said to him that we should do a video where a lot of stuff is happening in the background, and amusement part would be great for the song because it's Bumper Car. And then the other part for me singing in front of the camera and stuff like that, I just filmed in my child's bedroom. And then I just said to Aki that we should just stitch these together, and you just can use your imagination how you want to make it look like. And that's what happened. At first we were thinking about that we hope that it doesn't look like an advertisement, but it came out really nice.
Yeah, no, it looks good. It's a good video. I mean, obviously, you're not spending masses and masses of money on your videos.
No,
it's a very professional-looking video.
Very
I like
DUI.
it. Yeah. So on to live shows. You've played a lot of shows in Helsinki, a few shows outside of the capital, but not much outside of Finland. Is that something you want to change based on the fact that you did post on Instagram that you've got a lot of listeners outside of Finland?
We would love to play some shows outside of Finland and maybe a couple of festivals or something like that. As a small band in these kind of businesses, it's not that easy to get there. But we will release some new music and play some shows. And if someone gets interested, we will be in touch. One thing what I would love to do is to play in Wacken in Germany, the biggest metal festival of every metal festival. So that's what I think is one place we should go and we should get into.
That one small tour that we did in Estonia and Latvia, also it was a friend of ours who had good connections there and is arranging gigs there all the time. So something similar to that would be really great.
It's been 8 years since you played Tuska. For anyone outside of Finland, it's one of the biggest metal festivals in Northern Europe. You actually won a competition to play that slot as well. How was that experience, as Tuska's a pretty big deal for a Finnish band?
One of the biggest gigs we have ever had. And when you get to that kind of place where you definitely will have a big audience listening to your music, and most of the people in the house didn't know who we are, but came to see us and probably listened to our songs beforehand and came to see us. It was a really good day that day. When you are in Kattila Halli and there is like 600-700 people listening to your music, it's something very euphoric. You get into that kind of mood that you're not in place and you're just on stage and performing, and people are really into the music that you are playing and clapping their hands and coming together. So it was a really nice day.
Yeah, it was really awesome. And it was quite early in the day, and still the whole place was packed. It was the first day of the festival. So I like to think that a lot of them came to see us there.
Yes. I like to think
they left early from their work to come see us. So
yes.
You got to respect that.
So what do you have planned for 2026 in terms of live shows? Have you got some stuff sort of ready to go, or are you not ready to share anything yet?
I think we can share some stuff. We are planning on playing some gigs, of course, but we are also already working on some new songs. We are already in the progress of demoing the songs, or we have demoed the songs, and we are starting to record some drums like in the first quarter of year. And we hope to get some music released on 26 too. That includes gigs probably outside Helsinki.
The final question, the one that everybody scratches their head to. What music are you guys listening to at the moment that listeners of the podcast should be aware of and should take some time to check out?
Like Eero said, we are listening very different music, everybody in the band, and I have this sensational love towards Finnish rap music, and that's what I like to listen. One really sad news came this year when this ex-Tuuttis, old name was Tuutti Mörkö, Aaro Teikari, died. And his music has resonated in my life very much. And if I would name an album that I have mostly listened to this year, it would be Venla Faxin Cowboy.
One thing that I'm really happy about, one of my favorite bands released a new album that returns to their sort of roots. Sara released their new album this year. It was really good, and I have been listening to it a lot. And I found some progressive metal band, Guenna from Sweden, just a while back. they had some really funny advertisement in Instagram or something like that, and I was thinking, what is this shit? And it turned out to be really good, sort of mixing sludge and progressive, like old school progressive metal and things like that. So those are two things I've been listening at least. Well, I listen to so much stuff.
No, that's often the problem, is you've listened to so much in a year, it's hard to whittle it down to one or two things.
Yeah.
And even though I said that I love Finnish rap music, I do listen to some jazz, progressive metal, death metal, black metal, anything you can name of. And probably the most electronic music is that it is something that I don't listen that often, but there are some electronic bands also that I like.
So, for anyone wishing to find out more about Keoma, you have a website, keomaband.com. You're on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Bandcamp, and YouTube. Have I missed anything?
Yeah, we're also on TikTok. Come and follow us. Maybe we'll do some stuff there also.
So, Mind Coaster is out now on all streaming platforms. Jase and Eero, thank you for joining me. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you for inviting us.